Hello, all, welcome to my channel. In this playlist, this is going to be the last video, and this is 101, 101st video in this playlist, the last video. So, we'll talk about something which is always makes me interested, which is the clustering tables. So, we already have seen the partitions where basically, if we have like huge amount of data, and instead of like scanning all the rows, basically, if we have a specific date, if you partition by date, only you can partition by dates actually. So when you mention a specific date, then it quickly jumps into that specific group of rows where the date is matching, and then it scans from there. So that's how actually you can reduce lots of amount of time whenever you're executing the queries. Now we have one more concept which is called clustering. Clustering tables in BigQuery is a powerful technique to optimize queries by organizing data within partitions based on the values of one or more columns. So here, along with the partition, we are going to cluster one or two column names as well. So when these columns combined with the partition, clustering further improves query performance by reducing the amount of data scanned. So how clustering works? Data is physically sorted based on the values in the clustering columns. So along with the partition, this time we are going to mention few column names as well. So whenever we write the queries, so the queries with the filters, aggregations, or sorting or customs benefit from the reduced scan cost. So how many clusters that we can apply in a table? The max is only four clusters, and the partitions we can apply 400 partitions. Let's go ahead and let's see. So it's not that tricky. It's not that confusing as well. I'm taking sample data with data as select one as ID, Rajiv as name. So remember that whenever we are partitioning or clustering, so I mean as we have already have seen in the previous video, if you don't have the timestamps, it will throw an error. So the timestamps are important. So 2024 12:23. I would like by default it takes UTC time, so I'm giving my local time, which is India. Union all select to Mahesh timestamp 2024 12:24 Asia Kolkata Union all select 3 Sai timestamp 2024 12:25 Asia Kolkata. Okay. So until now, until here, everyone knows. So this looks like a normal table, normal data, normal querying and all. So now we have created a partition, create or normal table, how we create or replace table if in case if you want to have the data set one. So dot, let's say table, normal table. So this is how we create the normal table, and the table gets created here. You can see the normal table. How we can create the partition table? So like this, but here we mention like partition by, so date of. So I have the timestamp here instead of data. Let's mention like uh, s- today's transaction date. So let's take this transaction date here and as. So this is how we create the partitions by, and we can't replace. So yeah, for example, let's say like partition table. Let's run this one. So once we have the partition table, so let's if you wanna filter, I mean let's look at the data inside the partition table. So select start from this one, and if in case if you would like to filter 2023 data, So because now we have like sample data, so this you don't see any differences, but if you have like huge data, then you can see the difference. I mean, 2024, because it has a timestamp here, the date and the time and the UTC. And now if you wanna only filter with the date, I mean, let's put date here. Okay, let's do this one. Cool. Now, so there it has come. Now, for example, if you would like to cluster as well, so for example, let's say you would like to cluster by ID and name. So cluster. So as of now, it is grouped based on the transaction date. We are going to do cluster. Only partition works only for the dates. If you have columns, then you have to use the cluster. Cluster by I'm giving both the names, both the columns. Maximum you can only have four columns. ID comma name. So I'm naming it as like cluster table. Let's run this one. Okay, so let's copy the table data. Select star from this one. So if you run this one, so it gives this data. Either I mean, wait, you can do like date of transaction date for the partition, or you can use any of the clusters like ID is equal to 1. So it will the results, it returns spontaneously, or name is equal to Mahesh. Okay. Can I mean, if you have any question, if you have a question like, can I only do the cluster and ignore the partitions? Do like this one? No, you can't. Okay, so you can't replace a table with. Okay, let's select cluster table one. Let's see whether we can do something like this one. So clusters, what I understand. Okay, so it can be done. So basically, whenever you are using the clustering, it's always advised to use the partitions as well. Don't just use the clusters all itself alone. So what are the benefits of clustering? So it improves the query performance, and it lowers the cost, and cluster tables are more effective. So when querying a cluster table, include the clustering columns, whatever the mention which over here, like ID and name, in the where condition or group conditions or order by conditions for maximum performance gains. So best practice, always do the partition first, then the cluster. So what if you don't do the partition and if you directly do the cluster? Clustering is only available for partition tables. If you need clustering alone, create a single ingestion time partition and then cluster on your dataset columns. I don't understand what exactly does it mean, but i I always prefer to do something like partition and the cluster. Thank you for watching this video, and this is the last video in this playlist. If you are watching this video, congratulations, you have successfully completed the end to end on the BigQuery. All I advise is, like, keep on practicing again and again. And if you like my videos, and if you like the content, and if you feel like it is like relate, it is like very much helpful, please drop a comment, or please do share a feedback to me by my to my email address. I'll be very happy to, by knowing that someone has gone all of my videos. And I have also posted app script videos as well. So I have posted around 30 videos in the same channel. So AppScript is nothing but it's an alternate. I mean, in Microsoft Excel, there is something called Excel VB or macros. Like that in Google Sheets, we have macros, and also we call this AppScript. So it's based on the JavaScript, but it exactly works like how the VBA works in the Microsoft Excel. And if you ask me like which one is more effective, Excel VB or Google Sheets AppScript, I strongly vote to Google Sheets AppScript, because for a couple of years I worked on Excel VBA, and then after moving to Google Worksheets, so there are many features which are not available in the Excel VBA, but which are available in the Google Sheets. For example, running the program automatically, scheduling, and putting authorization controls. And it's very easy for the user to run. So you don't have to create a buttons. You can actually directly run from the add-ons, etc. There are many features. Please do watch that, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you, and I wish you all the best for your learning.